HTTV in association with Absolute Warehouse Services. Danny, thanks for joining us so soon after today's Emirates FA Cup game against Southampton. It's a defeat in the end for your players, but there was an awful lot to like about the job that they did out there on the pitch for you today.
Yeah, we were proud of the players and their efforts. I think we had a game plan. I thought we defended with real concentration and discipline. I thought we had much more intensity in our defensive play, which we were pleased about off the back of New Year's Day. And we've had the best chances in the game, and probably 3 really good chances in the first half, and then 2 good chances in the second, and unfortunately just haven't been able to take them. And when you don't take chances, then when you play against Premier League teams, you end up getting on the wrong side of it.
That was going to be my next question. It is almost as simple as that, isn't it? We came with the game plan. For large periods it worked. I think in particular 3 chances, the Fraser one and Bakuna in the first half, Schindler from the free kick in the second. When you're playing against a Premier League team, those have to go in to get the result today, don't they? It's as simple as that. Yeah,
that's right. You know, respect to Southampton, have taken 10 points out of 12 over the Christmas period. They've got an incredible athleticism and pace high up the pitch, so we knew that we had to protect the space behind us, and that meant that we had to have really good, compact, organised shape in front, and we did that really, really well. And I felt that we frustrated their bench, we frustrated their supporters and their players, and we were able then to pick them off and play on the counter-attack, and we've got good players on the counter. We've got real pace at the top end of the pitch, and certainly, you know, you look at performance today, it was similar to the Brentford performance, apart from us not being able to maybe find the goal. But there was certainly a lot of positives, and this is definitely a way that we can play away from home against certain teams, and we will need this style and this way in future weeks.
There's always a lot of focus when it's Emirates FA Cup weekend about how much clubs and managers are perceived to respect the competition, and you spoke at length in our pre-match press conference about how your love for the FA Cup and how good it's been to you over the years. I thought the team that you named today showed an awful lot of respect for the competition. Equally, you did have the opportunity to rest a couple of the lads like Carl and Grant, who started every Sky Bet Championship game. A lot of respect for this competition today.
Absolutely, it's the greatest cup competition in the world, and you know, our supporters that have travelled in their numbers all this way to be here, the least we can do is try to put the best team that we possibly can. Of course, we have a bigger agenda this season. You know, we really hope that next year we'll be in a position to be able to really attack this competition. But here and now there is a bigger agenda, and the main aim is to stay in the division. But we spoke to the group, and they're tired. There's no hiding place from that. I think five games in 14 days is at this level is incredibly taxing, and we looked at where we were at and the ones that we could play safely, and we played the ones that we could safely. Even in game, you know, we took Fraser off. We didn't want to take Fraser off, but we're desperate not to injure him because he's such an important player to us. We didn't start with Carlin because Carlin's played every single game and he's a gun forward, and if we overuse him in the first half of the season, then we might blunt him for the second half, and we can't do that. So we had to make a tough decision there, and you know, also with Juninho, it was, you know, he played in the first 60, but he was tiring himself, and obviously Stevie has done great, but without any background, and I thought you know, it was the right thing to do to probably to leave him out today and not break him, and as well as that, because we're playing on the counter attack, the style is different and it needs different profile of players. So now we made the decisions that we did, and you know, you've got people like Lewis O'Brien who want to stay out there, but he's come off the back of a calf. He's had very little background into that Christmas period and played every single minute of every single game, and it just shows you his mindset and also his physical robustness.
Little setback in the warm-up as well. Kasongo, initially named on the bench, had to pull him out of the squad there. What happened in the warm-up that's not quite ready yet?
Well, Catch is a really good kid, because he could have easily made the easy decision and not travelled and stayed at home and put his feet up, but he didn't. He wanted to be able to contribute. He trained lightly yesterday. He did the warm-up, but he could still feel it, and we just didn't want to... He wasn't ready to start anyway, and we didn't want to risk him. So we made that decision in the warm up, but credit to him, because like I said, he could have stayed at home and he didn't. He's committed to this cause, and it's important that we carry our senior players, because they obviously have a big influence in the dressing room.
Like you said, 5 games in 14 days, always incredible over Christmas. A welcome week now before another big game at Barnes the weekend. How do you plan to make best use of that?
Well, the boys will have a little break now, and a chance to recharge the batteries and freshen up physically and mentally. We're continuing to work really, really hard in terms of recruitment, because we need to get some fresh bodies in to help the group. It's really important that we do this. We've got a really committed group of players. We're working really, really hard to improve the squad and complement the players that we already have.
It's that same balance for every manager, isn't it? You want the players in as soon as possible, but you want to wait for the right ones as well, don't you? You've got to strike that balance.
Well, this is it. You know, there's lots of players that we could have had in on the 1st of January, but we want the right players, and everybody else wants the right players as well. So I know the supporters want players in the building straight away, and we're no different from that. But they have to be the right players, and we're working really, really hard as a football club to get the right players and the right people to help us with the journey that's in front of us.